Middle East is standing on the edge of a new and dangerous escalation. What we are witnessing today is not just another isolated clash or skirmish, but rather a potential tipping point that could engulf the entire region. Missiles are raining down from the skies, ground forces are mobilizing, and tensions between Israel, Iran, and Hezbollah are spiraling out of control. The consequences of this conflict could be catastrophic, not just for those directly involved but for global stability as well. In this video, we will unpack how things reached this critical juncture, explore the deep-rooted causes of the tension, and consider what might happen next. Earlier today, Israeli cities like Tel Aviv and Jerusalem were under heavy missile fire, a massive wave of almost 200 rockets launched from Iran. Israel's Iron Dome defense system was able to intercept many of these missiles, but not all. Several missiles broke through the defenses, wreaking havoc on civilian infrastructure. Schools, businesses, and homes were reduced to rubble, sending waves of panic throughout the population. As smoke filled the air, the human toll became increasingly clear, and Israel began immediate preparations to strike back. This missile attack marks a major escalation, one that could lead to an all-out regional war. So how did things deteriorate to this point? The roots of this conflict go back years, deeply intertwined in the hostilities between Israel and Iran. Over time, Iran has developed a vast network of proxy forces, including Hezbollah, stationed in Lebanon, and Hamas, both of which serve to challenge Israel's security. Just a few days ago, tensions reached a boiling point when Israel executed targeted assassinations of two key figures, Hezbollah's Hassan Nasrallah and Hamas' Ismail Haniyeh. These high-profile leaders were reportedly killed in Iran, a bold move by Israel meant to send a clear message. Iran's response came swiftly, and with severe consequences, today's missile barrage being only the beginning. However, Iran's aggressive actions are not limited to missile strikes. Hezbollah, Iran's well-armed proxy based in Lebanon, is mobilizing along Israel's northern border. In response, Israel has launched a ground invasion of southern Lebanon. The situation echoes the brutal conflict between Israel and Hezbollah back in 2006, but with one crucial difference: Hezbollah is now stronger and better equipped. The Lebanese militia has been preparing for years for such a confrontation, armed with more advanced weaponry and tactical experience. As Israeli troops push into southern Lebanon, civilians are fleeing the area, trapped between Hezbollah's forces and the advancing Israeli military. On the other side of the world, the U.S., Israel's closest ally, is not standing idly by. President Joe Biden has publicly reaffirmed America's support for Israel, and U.S. naval destroyers have been deployed to the region to intercept any further missile attacks. This show of support, while critical for Israel, also raises the stakes significantly. Iran's influence extends beyond Hezbollah. Pro-Iranian militias in Iraq and Syria are reportedly preparing to strike U.S. military targets in retaliation. The fear now is that American forces could be drawn into another prolonged conflict in the Middle East, which could have far-reaching consequences not only for the region but for U.S. foreign policy. The involvement of major powers like the U.S. is concerning because it could easily draw in other global players. Russia and China, both of whom have strategic interests in the Middle East, are watching closely. Russia, in particular, has been involved in Syria and maintains a complicated but critical relationship with both Israel and Iran. Meanwhile, China's growing economic interests in the region could see it playing a more prominent role in the conflict if tensions escalate further. The risk of a larger multi-nation conflict looms ominously on the horizon as Israel continues its military operations in Lebanon. What happens next is a matter of grave uncertainty. Israel has promised a strong retaliation for the missile attacks, and their ground invasion into Lebanon is only the beginning. However, the repercussions could ripple far beyond just Israel and Iran. The conflict could spiral out of control, potentially drawing in other countries with deep ties to the region. We've seen similar conflicts before, but the scale of the current situation suggests that this one could be far more devastating if left unchecked. The global community is watching closely, holding its breath as each new development unfolds. This crisis, which began with targeted assassinations, is quickly turning into a potential regional war that could destabilize the entire Middle East. It's a situation no one seems able to contain at the moment, and the fear is that the worst is yet to come. As Israeli forces move deeper into Lebanon and Hezbollah prepares for a drawn-out guerrilla war, the chances of a diplomatic resolution seem to be slipping further away. The people caught in the crossfire, civilians in Israel, Lebanon, and beyond, are the ones who will bear the brunt of the violence. Thousands of families are now displaced, unsure of where to go or how long the conflict will last. Humanitarian agencies are beginning to mobilize, but the situation is rapidly becoming more dangerous. The fear among these civilians is palpable, and their futures remain uncertain as military forces escalate their actions on both sides. The broader consequences of this conflict will be felt around the world. Global markets are already reacting to the uncertainty, with oil prices spiking due to fears of disruption in the Middle East. The potential for a humanitarian disaster, as well as the involvement of superpowers, makes this not just a regional issue but a global one. As we continue to monitor the situation, the importance of finding a peaceful resolution grows more critical by the hour. As the dust continues to settle, or rather, as the dust continues to rise in this ongoing conflict, the stakes have never been higher for both the Middle East and the world. Every move that Israel, Iran, Hezbollah, and their global allies make will have profound and far-reaching consequences. What was once thought to be a targeted retaliation is quickly evolving into a conflict that could change the course of the region's history. Stay informed as this complex and evolving crisis continues. At Abstract 2.0, we are committed to bringing you in-depth coverage and analysis of the stories that shape our world. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this critical situation. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more insights into the world's most pressing issues.